everybody, welcome back to Drawsome, and this week it's going to be a doozy. We are going to draw fabric. So it's one of those daunting things that I think some people have issues with, and I'm me the same. I'm not that great with it, so I figured we're going to do some studies, because that's all this is supposed to be. It's just studies. We're not getting too involved in a lot of detail and all that. But yeah, we're gonna draw some fabric and how it folds and lays and things like that. So hold on to your erasers, folks. This might get interesting. So I pulled up a few reference photos. When you type in fabric to Google, it comes up with all types of pictures. Lots of just folded in half, which is kind of boring. But I did find a few images that were showing like rolling fabric, and some had been twisted and things like that. So those are what we are going to concentrate on today. So saying that, first image, I'm just going to, we'll just use this, make a square here, because this is kind of an image that needs a boundary, else you'll just be drawing, oops, that's kind of wobbly, to just be drawing folds for days. So yeah, make yourself a boundary there. It seems as if a lot of this is going to be light and shadow, so I'm going to be doing a lot of smudging. So I'm going to smudge stick. So yeah, we're just going to start putting in some shadows. Now I do believe that to show the height and all that, it's very important to know how wide your shadows should be, and that there are some distinct lines in some places, but they're still kind of fuzzed out. They're not defined, is the word I'm looking for. So things kind of fade out into nothing, into a lighter section there, and it starts coming down here. But yeah, I think you just concentrate on your shadows. The light portions will automatically take care of themselves. So I'm going to stop there with that. But you can see where you've got your light ridge and your dark shadows and how everything kind of blends very easily one into the other. Well, that's how you get that. I mean, there's better examples than this, surely out there. But this is if you're going to do something realistic. If you're doing, and this is also fabric that's lying down, like on a tabletop, if you were going to show a piece of fabric hanging over something, they always say take a piece of fabric, find something that's tall and pointy or something like that, and lay the fabric over top of it so that it drapes. So that's one way of doing it. So I have done that in the past, of course. You could just show something that's larger or smaller at the top, slightly larger at the bottom. Just make yourself a triangle, okay? Just a little triangle. Get me in frame here. And what we're going to do is, this is just going to be our base. This is just going to be what we're pretending that the fabric is draping over. So this is, you're not going to see this once the fabric is over top of it. So you're going to come out just a wee bit over top of it and pretend that you have draped fabric over it, like a hanky or something, or a bed sheet, and then it's laying out onto the floor. Okay, and you start to pretend that triangle's not there. You are just laying fabric. Now, when you make this little bottom thing all wobbly like that, there's a reason to make that line all wobbly. Because it's folding in on itself. And you could even do it like that. Be a little more pronounced. Now, this little wobble here is, you take this top corner and you bring it up. And you can even meet it with this line here if you wanted to. And let's see, and then this comes up. When you have something that comes up this high like that, you come up off of it and you disappear. And the other side, you come up off of it and you disappear. Like that. It's kind of like drawing a ghost. If you all have ever drawn like little ghosty things. And here's going to be dark. And here's going to be kind of dark. But when you do these things, it means a lot if you shade them. Because again, that shows that rolling portion of it. Here. And so it's basically the valleys are going to be dark and your high points are going to be light. Like so. Now, let's say I'm going to get rid of this little triangle here because it's kind of annoying me. And this portion here. you a little better idea of what's going on. Okay, so we've got this coming up, and we've got this part coming up, and we're going to shade in here. And shade in here. And we just take our little smudgy stick. So, if you, and I'm sorry about my fingernail there, polish came off on the paper. So you would shade under there just to give it a little bit of dimension. Like so. So this is just a super sketchy little study on fabric. So that's how that's done. I mean, I'm sure if you take an actual piece of fabric and lay it over top of something, you'll get the same effect. Just look, you know, do it from life, from real, you know, for real. I couldn't find a piece of fabric that you could actually see on my desk, so this is just a little bit of a, you know, an idea. But when doing this, just pay close attention to your lights and darks, so that you can see that nuance, that there is a way of looking at it that shows the viewer this is fabric, if that makes any sense. So we have our more realistic, and this could be very realistic too. I mean, you could keep going and make everything look very realistic. Now when it comes to like a cartoony type thing, it's pretty simple. Let's say well, I kind of did it on our last week's wizard. He had a cape on, okay, which is, you know, it's very basic folding fabric or laying fabric, hanging fabric, where it's just, and you just kind of it's very simple. It's very simplistic when you're doing fabric. Use my light. For cartoons, it's very, very simple. It just makes it look like it's real simple. You can put those little wobbles in, make it look a little more dimensional. But a lot of times it's super easy. There's not a lot of detail in a cartoon when it comes to fabric. So yeah, you can just make it look like, I don't know why the heck I put those lines in there. What the heck was I thinking? And those don't need to be there either. Oh boy, I'm tired today, boy. Probably get rid of those also. There's just not a lot of detail to it. Very few lines. Very little going on cartooning is something that is a lot harder than it looks, because you don't put in all the detail. And our brains are going, I have to have detail. No, you don't, but it's hard to keep yourself at that minimalistic thing. So, let's say this is a chair, and oops, yeah. And this is just laying across the back of that chair. So, let's get rid of that line there. It's just draped over and coming off the edge. But see, once you've learned how to do this, you can add fabric now to any pieces of your art, which would be great, because it just adds that extra, you know, a little extra something like that. So, I hope this was not only educational, but entertaining. Like that. Just like that. I've even used this when I drew mermaid tails. This type of and trust me, my mermaids mostly are highly cartooned, except for this past mermaid, where I kind of went hog wild and did whatever I wanted. There, we have fabric of all different types. So yeah, I really hope you all followed along with me, and I would love to see how you draw some fabric and what you draw fabric on. So yeah, go make sure you check out Lori at TheLoriFiles and her fabric pictures. I can't wait to see what she drew. And thank you to anyone who followed along last week with our wizards. We had some really good ones coming last week. Woohoo! There they are. And I really appreciate everybody who does let everybody else know about us over here at Drawsome. We really appreciate it, and we can't wait to do next week's prompt. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to tune in and let us come and watch it. So make sure, if you do like Drawsome or any of my other content, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. And I will see you in next week's video. Love you bunches. Bye.